So we got an actual episode
Yay!
called.
Yay!
We got an episode today called No Direction, and the reason why it's called No Direction is because the other two guys have no idea what today's topics are going to be about. I'm just ambushing them with shit. So, me and Brendan kind of got in this conversation the last time, and people were still kind of mad about it. People are upset that Demon Slayer is the anime of the year, or was voted.
Oh my god!
Anime of the year. Motherfuckers are still mad about that, yo. Still mad. I don't know.
I wasn't. Here's the thing. I wasn't mad about it. I was just like, it just came out. I think we should have. I think there should be like a category. I think it could be like the best newest anime. But
like, okay, I'm not.
As
like,
far
first
as
of all,
the decade,
when I
I
say,
think
oh
that
my
should
god,
be like an anime that's ran for more than a couple of years.
okay. Well, first of all, I wasn't saying you were mad about it, but like people are legitimately pissed off at this anime. It's like the anime of the decade, and like I get what you're saying. Yeah, it should have been on a runtime for a little longer than what it has been, but like, come on, man. The short time this anime has been out, it overtook One Piece, and One Piece has been out for more than a decade.
Well, that's because people are getting sick of One Piece.
Well, shit, I got sick of One Piece the first time it came out. That wasn't even. Oh gosh, he got a gun.
Do you know what? Do you know I used to be on One Piece's?
What is that?
And then I just stopped.
Why did you stop? Like, what was you? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like,
I got bored. I got bored. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. It's just how much can you make rubber do?
Apparently a lot. Apparently a lot.
Like, a lot. Yeah, exactly, a lot.
If you think about it like
And
that,
I
I mean, that's pretty basic, especially when you have your own show.
Oh god.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? It's the same thing with like, all right. Think about a music artist, right?
Yeah.
A music artist just came out that's really good. If he gets shot now, they will say he was the best there ever was. They never gave him a chance to get whack. Like Kanye. Kanye's getting whack. See?
Nah,
He's
he
getting
hasn't.
on. This man is...
Kanye.
Well,
in my opinion.
No, even actually, you know what? The Life of Pablo was trash. The Gospel album is actually pretty good. I will
In
say
my
that.
opinion,
But it's
Kanye
like-
started falling off ever since his mom passed away, and that's just my opinion. I mean, like I still bump a lot of Kanye's.
Not musically.
I still bump a lot of Kanye's.
Like life-wise,
yeah. Like I still bump a lot of Kanye's music.
But
That's a fact.
He's been alive for a long time. People like him, people like Michael Jackson, who's been alive for a long time, they're giving them chance to get whacked, and they haven't.
I mean, Michael Jackson's
Like,
one of the
I
greatest
love Big
artists
Pun.
of all times. He ain't getting
Kanye,
Big Pun.
the thing with Kanye is, he never wrote like most of his songs.
No.
You can't just crush my
All
dreams
the
like
stuff
that.
he's doing now is what he's written. So yeah, as a Kanye fan.
I mean, I hear you.
No. Yeah.
But you just can't crush my dreams like that. How dare you?
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's still a musical genius because of his beats and how he orchestrates everything. But
I mean,
rapper,
sometimes I think Kanye be playing people, man. Cause like, I think he just be doing shit to stay relevant in the media. Like, I don't think the man lost his mind. I just think he just be like purposely triggering people just to stay relevant. Like, notice every time.
he's just really going through that.
That is literally what everybody is doing nowadays. Think about it. When they change the character from white to black to fill some kind of race quota, it's to incite a shock to get people to pay attention to it.
Facts. They're not wrong.
Half the world didn't give a shit about Starfire until she was black.
Shit, you ain't right. You ain't wrong about that either.
That's
Motherfuckers ain't even give. He's not wrong though. Motherfuckers didn't care anything about like Ariel.
Until she was black. Think about it. People would not have probably seen that fucking Little Mermaid reboot because it was just another fucking cash grab. But the fact that they made Ariel black, people are gonna go see it. And if you don't go see it, you're racist. Or you don't support black women
You're not wrong.
who are fictional mermaids.
We talked about this earlier in the. This looks like a boss battle. Why does this look like a boss battle? I don't want to be here. We talked about this earlier with the situation that pandering. Like, I get it. You know, you want more representation. You want more minority characters, and that's understandable, and I do too. But within, and don't take me wrong when I say this, within reason. And I say within reason, like, I want a character that's black because they're black. I want a character that's black because it's part of their story. It's because the character. It has a whole story built around it. You make a character black just cause, and it's like, it's more insulting. You're pandering to people. You're using us as a cash grab, and people are just letting them do that. Black Panther was a huge success, and because it was a huge success, now all these studios are making all these black characters for no real arbitrary reason. They're just doing it because it's like, oh, people want to see black characters. Let's give them what they want. Let's make money off of black folks, and y'all are allowing it. Meanwhile, those like real independent workers, independent artists, independent story writers are suffering because these large corporations are just blackwashing a shit ton of characters just to get your fucking dollar, and you're buying into the shit. You're eating it up like they want you to.
Apparently, this is a trigger for us.
Bro, it's a trigger for us because we're all independent artists. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. You know how often I hear about people go like, oh, I want to see a black character, and you know how many people I push. I don't even push my own work. I push a lot of other people's start, but like, I see less attention for like independent artists than I would to see if somebody was to draw a black Goku. And it irritates me. It does. Like, it irritates me. It does. Like, people are basically recycling ideas and making more than people who deserve it more, in my opinion. And like I said, I'm not including myself in this. I'm not including myself in this conversation. I'm including like actual other independent black artists, like June, for example. If June made that manga, I mean, she's greatly successful, and I'm happy for her success. But if June made that manga with like a black Goku or a black anime character that people recognized or people was familiar with, it would have blown the fuck up. And like, me and Jay talk about this. Jay has a lot of people he follows on Instagram who are like what I would like to call Toriyama clones. You know what I'm talking about, Jay?
Yeah.
They're really good at like copying Toriyama's style and just redrawing Dragon Ball Z characters as if it was their own. One dude actually like redrew the Cell Saga in his own story and then tried to make a whole manga about it on Kickstarter, and it got taken down because a copyright infringement suit was placed against it by Toei Animation. And his response to it was, they just can't let a man make his own story. Bro, it's not your own story. It's not your own story.
Somebody's story.
He's like, it's my version of the.
They don't want to see.
He's like, it's my version of the Cell games.
That's
what this man said. He's like, it's my version of the Cell games. There is no your version of the Cell games. like really, really. Like, this man was legitimately mad, and I'm just like, I didn't say nothing. I'm looking at this message, and then I'm looking at like I'm sending Jay that looks like, what's wrong with this man, dude? Like, and I mean, like, and the thing about it though is like, and there's another artist in the group named Robin Morrow, and he be feeling discouraged sometimes. I didn't mean to name drop him like that. That was just off. That didn't mean to name drop it like that. But he feels really discouraged sometimes because it's like, he'd be like, man, why should I even bother, dude? He's like, these Toriyama clones, man, they draw one picture of Goku and they get thousands of likes and thousands of followers, and he's like, and his work is good, and it's like, he's like, I'm doing this, and it's because it's not a goddamn Dragon Ball Z thing, it gets no attention. And he's not wrong, dude. No. Like, independent artists have to hustle twice as hard, and do 10 times the work just to get noticed, versus somebody who just blackwashes a popular character or plays off the popularity of something. And that's the part where, as you said, people are upset. That's why it's a trigger point for us, because a lot of us here are independent artists. A lot of us here work for our work to get recognized. For someone to come along and just color it a certain way and be like, boom, it's a black Little Mermaid, give me billions of dollars.
What's that?
I mean, that's basically all it is.
That's like you said, that's basically all it is. and that's why people are upset, man. Like as I said, that's why it's a trigger point for all of us. I'm not going to even pretend. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, oh man, I just think people need to talk about it. I'm going to tell you what it is. You call me a hater, you call me a hater. But like until you like that's like if y'all really can't see this, man, and see the understanding of it, it's like working in the office and basically busting your ass to come up with an idea that will help. Let's say this: you working your ass off and come up with an idea to help save the company money, to help bring the company some prestige. Some dude takes an old idea that we've been using for years. He changes a few words around, changes a few changes a little bit of the lingo around, and resells the same idea to somebody, and they be like, "Oh yeah, that's it. That's what we want." It's not even genuine. He's just reselling the same thing. How mad would you be? You put all this work in.
That's technically.
You put all this work in because you genuinely trying to get something done, and somebody just resells the same a talking point. Resells a talking point, and then they get that prestige.
Dude, that's basically what happened with us looking at Trill League.
Oh god, don't get me started on that. Like I don't even want to like. Oh, I'm so. I got mixed feelings about Trill League. I really do.
I don't have any.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like it. Like the comic, it's funny. I'm not gonna lie. I will give it credit due. It's humorous. It's for the comedy portion of it. It's funny as fuck. But
I'm so sick of seeing black people drawn that way.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the question I have to ask, and I challenge our listeners and I challenge our watchers. Would it be funny? Would it be as interesting if it wasn't a parody of Justice League? If it was original, if it was completely something else, if it didn't have anything, if it didn't have a familiar tone to offset it, to give it that boost, because you don't look at Trill League as original characters. You may say you do, but you connect those. I mean, you connect those characters to existing characters. You know, like again, Robin, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. They just come in different names like Black Man, Swole Man, Wandisha. Which we're not even gonna talk about.
Wait, that is not her name.
That is her name. I'm not joking. Unless that's changed recently, her name was Wandisha. And and people have different opinions on it. Like you can I like it, but I have my opinion on it. I love his art style. I've always admired his art style. But
the man is talented as fuck.
Right. I've always loved his art style. Right. But like the thing about it though is, can we have something that doesn't, I don't know, portray us as ghetto, as we always do? It doesn't play into our stereotypes, even if it's a parody and a comedy. Don't we have enough comedies that play into the stereotype? Don't we have enough comedies that portray us as negative towards ourselves, or just hyperactive and violent, or just ready for confrontation? Like, and these are things like what? Like it goes back to how like, oh, if a black person listens to rock music, he's not black. Or if a black person watches anime, he's weird. You know, we ventured so far and broke so many stereotypes just to go back to that. Why? Like, and I mean, like again, this is not me hating on Trill League because you may be like, if that's not the case, why do you keep saying it? I keep saying it because no matter how many times we say we don't hate it, or we're not hating on it, y'all gonna interpret it the way y'all want to interpret it. I've learned that a long time ago.
True.
People are going to want to interpret this conversation as the way they want to interpret it. People are going to find a negative in it, regardless, even if it's like it's just a fact for the conversation and it's our opinions. Like, and to that, I'll say this because I have a couple guys at work. I have a couple brothers at work who's already kind of like, oh, you hating on it, and I'm going to say the same thing. No matter what I'm saying, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop you from watching it. It's not going to stop you from giving it attention. It's not going to stop you from giving it its publicity. I said my piece and I stand by it, and there's nothing you can do to change my mind. Just like there's nothing I can do to change your mind. That's just the way it is. Like, but I would love to see that same energy for independent black artists. For independent black artists who are not creating stuff that is recognizable by people. Yep. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Like, I mean that wholeheartedly. Like, the thing about it though is like, and I have to ask that question, and I mean it. And people may think I'm being the ass, but like, if it wasn't for the fact that Trill League was a parody of Justice League, would you watch it? Would it even be as popular as it is?
Doing.
I'm getting fucked up right now, dude. They are jumping me. I'm about to die.
Come on. I got 5 kills and I'm the kill leader. My team is trying to fight one person.
Your team is trying to fight one person?
One person!
That one person is kicking their asses, I pretty much say.
So crypto out there, not doing a good job.
Oh, I don't have the right item for this. I am about to die. Lord, save the queen. But that's how I feel about it. But we was so off the topic of anime and stuff. We was talking about Lizzo today, and this is just this, and this has nothing to do with comic book and anime. Not shaming anybody, but real talk. You don't take your bare ass and sit it on a public seat. I know your mama raised you better than that.
I didn't
People
know
not know
who
that?
it was until
Bro,
today.
he brought it up today because he didn't know about it. But I remember when people did it, they was attacking, like, y'all just attacking her because she's fat. Bro, she could have been the best looking woman in the world, sitting your bare ass on a public seat in the middle of a goddamn game stadium. What is wrong with you? That is not how you get attention. That is not.
So, all right, Jay. The conversation came up because I was watching this random video,
Goddamn.
and there was these guys talking about like Lizzo and stuff, and I didn't know who she was. I didn't know what happened, and I was watching it, and the whole time I was like, it's not because she's fat. It's because that's nasty. That's gross. I'm a germaphobe. Like when I saw it, it wasn't like, oh, it's a fat chick twerking. It was, what if I accidentally sit in that seat?
I mean, on a
Like, what if somebody sits in that seat?
On the flip side of that,
another seat, and then I sit in that seat.
On the flip side of that conversation, we're not gonna act like her fans ain't probably sitting there like, oh my God, it's Lizzo's ass. Somebody gonna probably go to that game seat and just face plant his face in that chair, which is rightfully nasty in its own way. Well, it ain't no own way. That's just nasty as fuck in general.
But the thing is, and then the video was talking about like, well, they got ladies with their titties all out. If Lizzo had her titties out, it would have been good too, because they're not touching the seat.
Like, it's not even.
The whole thing with it is germs.
It's not even the fact that, like you said, it's germs. It's just like, bro, that's not.
No, that's my thing.
It's not right. We don't do this. Like, it has nothing to do with her being big or not. It's just, we don't do this. It's not right. And if she was a fine looking model, I would say the same fucking thing. I understand some guys like the big girls. That's you. But if she was like a supermodel, I'd be saying the same thing, bro. Imagine a dude doing that. That's all I'm gonna say. Imagine a dude doing that. Imagine a dude going into a game. He would have been arrested. Dead ass would have been arrested.
Yeah. Indecent exposure.
Imagine a dude just doing that. Going to a basketball game and just sitting his bare ass on the seat and just showing his bare ass off. So, like, that's how I feel about it. Alright, so you guys wasn't here for like earlier in the week when I triggered Jay by telling him the pre-crisis full-powered Flash with the Speed Force would solo the entire DBZ verse. It was a straight argument. Like, it was my fault. I admit that. But I'm not gonna lie when I say. So I may have went a little bit overzealous with it, but I'm a strong believer. He may not have, like you said, I will admit, he may not be able to beat Zeno. He probably not gonna beat Zeno. That's a real talk. But Flash is heavily underestimated, and I feel like Flash could take on the majority of the DBZ verse alone, with just how fucking fast.
Like everybody else, yeah, you can get that. That's why I said Zeno. And I was like, alright, Zeno.
Yeah, I mean, like people underestimate. Like, that's the one thing. Like, I was reading up on like the pre-crisis. I was just, so what came up in mind was I was just reading the analogy on the pre-crisis Flash when he was going up against the anti-monitor, and it was like how this man can perceive information in attoseconds, and I'm like, full stop. So I had to look at what the fuck an attosecond was. I'm like, what is an attosecond? And then when I look at what an attosecond, like, okay, so look at it this way: if we was to break seconds down into seconds, an attosecond is 300 is 1 quintillionth of a second. So basically think like this. Basically think like to flash 1 second of normal time is about 4 years to him. That's insane.
That's stupid.
Bro, this dude perceives time. This dude receives information in attoseconds, and he reacts to it. See, the idea of perceiving information is one thing. The ability to react to it is a whole different level. Not only does he perceive at a high speed of information, he reacts to it within that same speed time. That's insane, bro.
That is.
And like,
it's
it's one of those things like, bro, I heavily underestimated this dude's abilities. But
nope.
So my question to you guys, and this has nothing to do with like Flash versus Zeno. So we talked about how for me to kind of undersell Zeno, we talked about how Zeno is not even omnipotent within Dragon Ball Z. And some of you might be like, he is totally omnipotent. He really isn't. Parts of
technically the Grand Priest is.
None of them are omnipotent. There's multiple versions of them. Parts of being omnipotent is being omnipresent, and Zeno is not omnipresent. He's not. There's two of them. Omnipresence goes with omnipotence.
That's true.
To be omnipresent, that means that you exist in all realities, in all universes, at all times at once. You exist across. You said rewind?
No, it said we won.
Oh, nice, gangster. Yeah, no, he have to exist in like he has to exist in all times, all realities, and all space at once. The trifecta right there. That's what makes you omnipresent. He doesn't. The fact that there's two of them shows you he's not as omnipresent. The fact that he was ignorant of what was going on in the other universe and another Zeno had to fix that shows he's not omniscient. Omniscient is all knowing. So he lacks those two key factors that would make him, that would add to that omnipotence. Now, his level of power, that's arguable, but there's still a defining feature in that, and that's basically his ability to control the fact that he can only control a finite number of universes. So with that
is true.
With that being, basically, man, and I hate to be this saying, so with basically, man, people always talk about like, people try to be like, oh, Zeno is basically the one above. He has the same power as the one above all. Not even close. He may be Dragon Ball Z's one above all, but in scale of power, nowhere near it. So
One
with that,
above all.
people have literally tried to compare a Zeno to the one above all. That has been done before. So with that being said, if we was to put Zeno on a scale of like high-level cosmic beings, where would you put him at in like the Dragon Ball, the DC and Marvel universe? And I want to be fair because I don't want to shortchange Zeno. I think Zeno is actually pretty strong, but like given
We'll say like the Monitor, and that's about it.
I'd give him Spectre.
Spectre? I don't know, because Spectre is again omnipresent. There's only one Spectre in the entire universes and all their existence. And Spectre controls multiple. Like, think about this. So I'm looking at it. I would put him on like probably Perpetua's level, but then again, like you said, anti-monitor even. Because you got to look at it like he said, like he can only control 12 universes, where most of the other higher beings are like running at least 100.
Yeah.
like, this dude is a baby, man. Like, even Franklin Richard at the age of 10 was creating an entire multiverses.
But that's where it also comes in at, because he's still a baby, so if he can actually grow.
And no, I'm not taking
That's
that from
actually
him.
Still a child, brother.
I'm not taking that from him, but that's like saying that's like saying that you as a kid, just because you got boxing potential, is going to take on Muhammad Ali.
I'll take him on.
You don't get to fight the champ without a few rounds.
I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like the potential for like where Zeno can go, bro. It's right now we don't know. I mean, like he can become stronger, but where Zeno sits at now, nah, man. Zeno, like you said, I wouldn't even put Zeno. Zeno is at the. I would, yeah. Zeno's probably at like anti-monitor level or monitor. He's definitely not World Forger's level because World Forger was creating an entire World Forger was creating entire multiverses, more than 10.
He can and that's why I was really trying to get on to you about the whole like him deleting a person in the void of like time and space, and then still deleting that whole universe along with them. Like he can just delete the universe, like everything of that universe. And I'm like,
but see, that was my argument though, because like in Flashpoint, Flash and even Wally West, and I hate Wally West, has bought in things back from like the point of like Oblivion, which Oblivion is pretty much nothingness. So it's, and I mean like, and that's the part where that one becomes a bit touchy-feely, because if you've been following the Dark Multiverse, I cannot remember his name. He's like a new echelon of power. He basically stands between the corruption of the Dark Multiverse and the regular universe. He keeps them from colliding, and that's his whole purpose. So he summons Wally West to pull like to salvage the universe from falling into oblivion. Wally West is basically bringing back the universes from oblivions, and that's the thing. And he's doing that with this by running. So that, I mean, like in that part, I have no idea how you even begin to concoct that kind of power from running. But somebody was like, "This man going to bring shit back from nothingness by running." What? Yeah, you heard what I said.
I need him to be this fast.
This is where I get like, this is where like, as a person who reads Marvel DC, they'd be like, Marvel have characters with powers that makes no sense. You want to go that path? But like that's the thing, and see, people don't seem to understand. People who don't read the comics, anime fans who don't read the comics, they think DC and Marvel has come to its stopping point, which we both know it hasn't. Like I had to tell one of my friends who's a Goku stan this the other day, and he's like, we got multiverses. Congratulations, you finally achieved something that has been achieved since the 80s. Like motherfuckers, we've been at multiverses. You late, like.
Boy, sounds like the iPhone Android conversation.
Bro, for real, dead ass. Like we not even on multiverses no more. We on like whole separate realities. Like they have broken into dimensions. To a whole different scientific
Dark
theory.
multiverses.
Bro, dark multiverses, entire separate realities where there's different multiverses and together. Bro, we're not even on like multiverses now. We're on like realityverse. It's realityverse, dimension verses. Like the Beyonders came from a whole reality. The Beyonders came from a whole separate reality outside of like the Marvel universe or the Marvel multiverse. It's not even, and it's a reality that's like above everything. That's what they call the Beyonders. And even like DC's going in that route. DC's on like 6th dimension beings where like they're looking at multiple realities that holds entire multiverses on a show as if it's a candy store full of gumballs. So it's like you gotta understand like the level of power, which like the level of like the spectrum of like how large these universes have grown, to the fact that like they're like, yeah man, this is a whole different reality. This is not even part of the regular multiverse. It's a whole other multiverse. You're just like, wait, what? Bro, you gotta have a PhD in science to understand half this shit. And so it's stuff like that we get on. It's like they don't seem to really understand. But like, I mean, like, it's all love for me, man. I love having like comic book anime debates, because at the end of the day, I always look like the realest nerd of all, because I had one person who was like a nerd. He was like, "Well, you just a nerd," and I'm like, "What does that even mean?"
Facts.
What does that?
Fuck is a nerd?
Basically,
Talking
he's
about
saying
the candy.
basically he's a nerd, but like, how can I say it? He's like, bro, I just watched the movies and the anime. You went really deep into the story. I mean, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
Duh. So like, even we talked about this earlier. Like back in the day when anime was popular, there's still a separation. There's nerds now. There's anime nerds, but then there's still, as someone was saying to me, there's nerds. The people who actually like we. Oh my God, yo Jay. Oh, this man using full-on blood attacks. You gotta get back on cold vein, dude. Shit got real.
We found something valuable today. I do not think we can open it now. There
You
must
need
be
dog
a
tags.
purpose.
I need dog tags to open this door. But that's kind of how I look at it, man. So let's see. I got another one on my topic. Oh. So Morbius. Your thoughts?
I just did a reaction to the trailer.
I was listening to it, but I wasn't. I was waiting. There was so much I wanted to say. But Jay said you loved it.
I love it.
I'm interested. I really am. And I mean, this may be like Marvel has a habit of like saving people's careers. This may be what like saves Jared Leto from like that horrible Joker fiasco.
Let's be fair. The fans do that.
Be careful you
That's all fans. You're right. But like, I'm interested, man. Like the trailer got me interested. It doesn't give too much. It doesn't keep too much away from the understanding. It gives just enough to keep you interested. To keep you kind of like, okay, you got my attention. You had me at hello. And that's kind of what I'm interested in. I'm really am like I'm really am intrigued by it. I really am. So
Honestly, I guess when I watch these movies, when I see a trailer for a comic book movie, I would love for them to try and go off the strength of the character and have faith in that the fans of that character will go see the movie instead of saying, "Hey, if you liked these other 50 movies we did, you're gonna love this."
You talking about like how they was like from the producers of Marvel Studios and Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. I
can
hate that
see
shit.
where you getting at with that?
all vanished instantly in the great
Just show the fucking trailer.
He just showed a fucking trailer. I mean, I hear you. I do. But my question to you is, oh, this is like a boss fight. Why does this look like a boss fight? Half the shit in Code Vein looks like I'm about to walk into a boss fight. This looks like a boss fight. Jay, pull up the mixer real quick and tell me if this looks like a boss fight. This looks like a boss fight.
Well, I'm in the middle of a game. You talking about pull up mixer?
Man, fuck your game. All right, fine. I'm gonna go.
I'm
back
not
and
about
say,
to do. I'm not.
This dude looks like a boss fight. No, I'm actually interested in. But my question to you is this: so it looks like Sony is going into like we're creating like enemies. We're gonna do movies about them.
Come on,
Spider-Man.
behind a door.
And I'm for it. I'm for it. But what is your fears with the Mobius movie? If you have any.
With the what?
What are your fears with the Mobius movie, if you have any? Do you have any concerns about this movie?
Absolutely not.
I told you my fear earlier. It's that one company will be making all these movies, and they will all turn out to be the exact same shit.
Talk about Disney trying to own everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, I have no problem with, because that's how business works. All right, I understand. You could be a business without being a whore.
Damn.
And I think it would just be from a company. It's not even just a regular company. From a company of artists that still call themselves artists. All you're doing is buying up properties and making stories that are already out there. You're just redoing stories.
I mean,
And even when you try to do something new, you still make it kind of trash, like the Soul movie with the black guy who's not a black guy, but he's gonna be a blue guy.
Oh, let's talk about that for real. Let's talk about that. Why does it seem like every movie that comes out?
Disney.
But that's Pixar though. Isn't it?
No. That's Pixar, but Disney is the father of that shit. Spirit, Emperor's New Groove, Princess and the Frog. They're the father of that shit.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. Like every time this is like a minority character, they always got to turn them into like some kind of like animal. You can never let that character be a character. Well, the only anime
I mean, Frozone was a character.
Frozone barely got any screen time. We talking about like the POC is like the main character of the story. The only one I haven't seen that done in is Moana.
That ain't got turned into nothing.
Because he was already something. He
was an ogre. What are you talking about?
Donkey. What about Donkey?
Donkey.
I mean, I feel like they did Donkey wrong. He finally achieved his dream of being a steed. To only have that taken from him.
It's wise to be prepared.
Like, I feel like they did that wrong with that.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my Lordy.
Jesus.
Pretty much.
Goodbye. I hate getting into this game. Just
You go that way. Yo, but so another one we added about. Let's talk about cartoons that wasn't exactly anime, but they get that respect.
Barbershop. Generator Rex.
Ben 10.
Yo, Ben 10 was my shit growing up. I'm gonna
The
die.
first Ben 10. Let's get specific.
Yeah, let's get the.
Yes. Yeah. The first one.
Yo, this man's attached to doing this.
And it wasn't that bad when he was a teenager. The teenage one.
Oh yeah,
that's
too.
Adults. That was good.
They had the car and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yo, this dude is coming after me, bro. I'm about to die. Yeah, I died.
I mean, that was part of it too.
Yo, did y'all remember that episode where like he went into the future with his kid and this kid was getting harassed and he turned into the giant alien way big and started beating the shit out of his ass into the ground.
What? I don't remember that. So I remember the first Ben 10.
Hold up, I will show y'all.
I mean, we ain't gonna watch it now. We're on the show, bro. But I remember.
Not now, but.
You gonna see this art?
He said you gonna see this art. Dude, I done leveled up like 100 times and I'm still getting wrecked by these guys. But I think Avatar is probably one of the best ones we could say actually holds that spot.
Yeah. I think Avatar is probably the first one that pops into people's heads when they think Avatar, not Legend of Korra. Even though Legend of Korra wasn't bad, I just never finished it.
Legend
able
of
to give a
Korra
full
was
opinion.
only good for lava bending.
No, I didn't make it to the end. Like I got to the part where she finally learned how to airbend and punches the nigga out the window.
Bro,
I feel like
trash.
I feel like Legend of Korra had some of the best villains though.
It was good for females, but as far as like me as a guy watching it, I wasn't trying to be empowered by her and her relationship and that whole thing that was going on. It was so weird.
You felt it was a bit political?
It was too much for me as a male watching that show. Like
Really?
with Aang, you know,
Really?
it was like, yeah, with Aang it was like kind of cute because you know he didn't know what to do with like Katara and all that. He was kind of cornball with it. He was just chilling, you know.
He didn't know what to do with it.
Oh, this man's on that bullshit already. Oh, he is really on that bullshit. But I feel like,
But
I kind of feel you, man. There was moments where like I just felt like they was trying to hype they was trying to hype Cora up more than like she should have been, and then the thing about some of the issues she was having, like people will legitimately argue like she was like people still like legitimately argue who was better between her and Aang. They like she's better than Aang. It's like nah, son, Aang, you ain't gonna beat the fact that Aang is. You ain't gonna beat the fact that Aang was taking away people's bending. Aang was taking away motherfuckers' whole
exactly.
Like,
It was like you're not aligned with the Force. Yeah, you're gonna get this word. Oh, bro, I'm super trash.
I think we said, I don't know if y'all watched it, man. I brought it up, but like, alright, actually, I restarted watching it. And Code Lyoko.
Ew.
Code Lyoko was the shit.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, some of the fights in the other world and shit were trash. It was pretty much the same thing over and over again, you know. Kill a block, shoot a crab, run to the tower. but it was a pretty good ass story. Because I restarted watching that and Reboot, because that's on Tubi for free. Reboot was dark. I don't remember Reboot being this dark.
Really?
As a kid, I was all happy-go-lucky with Reboot. I did not know this many people died.
Bro, you probably I mean, well, there's a lot of animes and stuff like, even movies, stuff you watch as an adult and you understand more, and you're like, oh, bro, why are you breathing like that? Like, someone was breathing heavy on the mic.
It was probably me because my mic. It was probably me because my mic was like right next to my nose.
I need you to stop, like full stop.
I need you to breathe in, breathe out.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Yo, facts, man. I'm about to do it. God damn it.
This man got white shields.
Oh my God.
Kill him.
Yo, I am tight. I just lost 500,000 fucking haze.
We have recovered something valuable.
Well, should have been paying attention.
Oh, this boss is kicking my ass. But, alright, so last conversation for the day. And then I'm killing this motherfucker at the end of the day regardless. What anime are you guys watching? Let's talk. Yeah, like what are you like? What's on your watch list right now? Like, I don't care if it's old. I don't care if it's new. Like, what's on your watch list right now?
Dang, I'd have to go and see what I was watching.
Really? You just can't tell me off the top of your head what you was watching?
The last thing I was watching, like I said, was Rebooting You.
I mean, I've been watching
anime.
I've been watching Inuyasha and Inuyasha's Final Act, but I've been watching
We talking about anime, huh?
I was watching Fate's Stay Lost Encore, which I'm actually pretty interested in it. Because for the longest time, I thought, you said it's trash?
Trash.
Why is it trash?
Them stories hold no weight, bro. They don't. There's no meaning to those. They're not gonna continue a season and the same thing. They're just gonna go to something completely new, and it's just gonna be some. Yeah.
You sound angry. Should we talk about this?
All right. The last two things I was watching was Do Robber and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
You know what?
I need to watch that.
You know what? People been harassing me to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I'm actually quite frankly offended.
It's not as bad as you think.
I'm good.
It took me years to watch it, but once I started,
I mean,
You
believe it or
gotta
not, I
skip the
know
first 2 seasons.
I know a shit ton of JoJo references, and it's like I've never watched the anime once.
Yo,
I know all the
anime,
references.
you get it.
I get them
once you
already.
watch
That's the funniest part. I get them already because I understand what happens is like with the references comes the clips. So you get the clips, you get the inside story, and you get to go. And that's the craziest part. Like, as I know all these references, and I've never like actually sat down and watched this anime as a whole. Like, I've never watched JoJo Bizarre Adventure. But bro, I know the references of all, like when you motherfucker goes zoo, when motherfuckers go Z Wilder, I know that whole reference, like that whole reference. I know those.
It was me. Dio.
Oh, you're approaching me. I know that whole reference. Like,
You thought your first kiss would be JoJo, but it was me. Dio. I don't know if that was just the dub that I watch, but Dio's voice actor was definitely on drugs.
bro, but it was funny as fuck to me. But like, you gotta like, what's funny too, even more though, is like some like. There's a few animes on Hulu that's been coming out, and they just ain't hitting the mark, man. Like, this is one I was trying to watch on Hulu called Special 7, and it's just like, nah.
You're bugging out.
How am I bugging out? You like Special 7?
Because I gave you my thing for Verve.
Oh, I've been watching stuff on Verve. I gotta catch up on Black Clover. Don't get me wrong. Call me a bot. You call me a bot. Oh, we gonna fight. I'm fighting words. We gonna fight.
I've been watching Start from Zero.
I never even heard of that one. What's that about?
If I tell you what it's about, it basically gives away the whole shit.
I mean, well, what anime is that not? What anime
Can't
doesn't
give away the whole.
Or give me like a quick synopsis, something that doesn't give away the whole show. Give me just something.
So this guy dies and goes to another world.
Oh, okay, never mind. You're right. They did give away the whole show.
I just thought of 3 stories that was about.
Bro, he was. I thought he was like just being like
So
modest. That was.
does he become a soul reaper, spirit detective, or an angel?
He becomes a regular person.
Wait. Is there a harem involved?
Somewhat.
Is he overpowered?
Yeah, if you want to.
Nah, he's not.
Alright.
Technically, he is, but you can't call it overpowered. It's a really good anime. It's like a. What's the words? It's like a slice of life meets like action adventure.
Okay.
It's for adults.
So Tenchi.
Is that what it's called? Because I don't know all the genres.
Sounds like Tenchi Muyo a little bit. Yeah, it does.
Tenchi, once they get out that house, they was about that action.
Oh man, you know what anime I still got on my hard drive that I have not seen in a long ass time? That was like one of my favorite ones. Dirty Pair.
I knew you was gonna say some weird shit like that.
Why does that sound familiar?
It's an old ass anime. Like old as hell. Dirty. Bro, it used to be one of them animes that came on at night. Like, it's not like a nasty anime. I mean, in a sense, it's fully nasty.
Yeah, I watched this.
Bro, that used to be my anime, dog. I like the second one better though. Well, because like there's two versions of it with like 2 different art styles, and the first one is kind of like really old, and the second one has like I think the art style for that one's a bit better, but in the second one the girls definitely wear like more skimpier outfits in the second version, if I remember correctly. Ooh. I've been watching it older. I've been like when I rewatch stuff, I like to start over. Like one of the animes I used to like to watch that was like really good on fan service. There's 2 of them that was like really big on fan service was Still Angel Kurumi and Burn Up Access. Like really,
I've heard of Steel Angel.
Steel Angel used to be a crap. Like, I mean, it's not crap. It used to be a shit, but it's an interesting story. It has its dry moments, but it's a very interesting story. But then again, like I said, you got You got like three angels, and one of them dresses like really skimpy, like to the point like she's probably running around with like she's running around with drawers on, and it's amazing that like, oh, this nigga real. But it's actually, like I said, it's a really good anime, and I really kind of enjoy it. Oh, but that's basically what I'm watching on my watch list. I don't know what you guys got.
Oh, you don't want me to? I will unload.
Bro, go. I mean, seriously. I want to, like, that's the whole point of the random topics. I don't want you prepared. I want you to go you. Like, what are you watching?
All right, I'm gonna go right into it. I love my sports animes, so I gotta add Diamond No Ace.
I've actually heard about that. Is it good?
It's really good. Like, if you're a fan of baseball, it is immaculate. Like, it's not like one of those animes like iShield 21 where they kind of make it look like super unrealistic. Like,
yeah.
It's more like, oh, he did a corkscrew. Then they finessing.
Man, I heard some good things about the anime Haikyuu, the one, the volleyball anime or some shit.
I can't watch volleyball with dudes.
We're not going to talk about that. He said I can't watch volleyball with dudes.
That's like
fragile, aren't we?
He's on one today. But
that's like watching that one swimming pool anime.
Swim was mega gay. It was meant to be gay. If that's the direction you're going with that conversation, Swim was meant to be gay. There was nothing about.
Was the story good though?
The story was actually pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I watched it. I was interested in the story. But like, if you talk about Swim's whole purpose, Swim was meant to be fan service for females. There's no other way around that. You talk about like Swim is the male equivalent of every anime where girls get naked for no reason. Where you just have the most like craziest body shots that just makes no like they shoot in the angle at a dude's ass, like they shooting the angle of the camera at a dude's ass. It's meant to be fan service for women. There's no way to sugarcoat that shit. They could even try to lie about that. They could be like, nah, that's not what this is. That's exactly what this is. It's really just there is no sugarcoating that anime for what it is. And it's actually pretty funny when you look at it.
Exactly. Alright, hold on, let me get to my first anime.
Oh, okay, here's the anime that you probably we're gonna probably jump on this in the next episode, which is obscure animes you probably never heard of. But I'm gonna drop one because it's one of the ones that's next on my watch list because it's one of my all-time favorites. And the reason I like it is because it is really obscure. It's only like damn near 9 to 12 episodes long, but them fight scenes. That's all I'm gonna say.
What's the anime?
It's called Munto TV. It's the English name of it. I promise, and the English dub of it is actually very good. But I promise you, I cannot help you find the Japanese version of it because the Japanese version of it is too damn long. The Japanese name is too damn long, and I don't remember it off the top of my head. But it's called Munto TV. I promise you, if I find it for you, I will send you the link. It's most likely on Kiss Anime. It's one of my. It's one of my favorites because the fight scenes are it. But one of the other animes that I need to talk about that well, besides the Fate series, like we talk about, the Fate series is one of my favorite. But
I still have to finish the Fate series.
Bro, you're not gonna finish the Fate series. I don't even know why you're saying you still have to finish any Fate series. You're not gonna finish the Fate series. I'm telling you that now.
It's one of those.
It's not one of those. There's so many variants of this anime. The Fate series might as well be like the Marvel comics of anime. There's so many damn universes and different storylines that branch off to different realities and different possibilities. It is nearly like you are not like I haven't even caught up with it because they're on like the Fate Grand Order Babylon, and it's like I have no idea I want to watch it. The scenes feel so interesting, but like, you think you know in a character, and you don't, and then they come out with this new series, and you don't know jack. Like, they came out with like I said, I'm watching the Lost Encore, and the whole time I thought the saber and the Lost Encore was the usual Keen Arthur they have, which is, they have Keen Arthur as a female, which is kind of hot. But oh god, don't do that. Ooh, almost fell off the cliff again. But no, this entire time it was I think Gregor Claudius, a Roman emperor. It caught me mad off guard. I was like, wait, that's not Keen Arthur? Like But I mean, like, I get what. But if you like, I'm just gonna be real with you. You like good fight scenes, dude. Fate Stay is the way to go. That's the anime you want for like those fight scenes. If you want them fight scenes where people be bugging out on each other or just kicking straight ass for no reason. Them fight scenes.
Yeah, Sword Art. Alice.
It's La Becca. Yeah. It's on my watch list.
Like, Alice's,
it's on my watch list. But speaking of
Alice,
Alice's Nation.
Yeah.
It's on my watch list. But if you want, it's on my watch list. I'm not planning to watch it. But if God damn it, what I'm trying to say, Jay, if you're interested in the Fate series, you should watch Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, which is awesome.
I already watched that.
They got the movie out, Heaven's Feel. I got to catch up on that. I only saw the first part. Then they got
whatever Fate series is on Netflix, I've already watched.
All right, well, they got the Grand Order on Netflix. It's not on Netflix yet, but you should watch Brandon. You should watch Fate Apocrypha.
Oh, that is lit.
That has some of the best fight scenes I've ever seen in the series.
Them swords and their powers.
They powers are
is that
ridiculous.
Is that the one with the vampire, or is that the one with...
Yeah, it's the one with the vampire. Yo, but my favorite fight was Centauran versus Achilles. These motherfuckers had a whole fight on an airplane, dude. Not in the airplane, on the airplane. Like on the airplane as it was flying. These mans was having a whole hand-to-hand combat, and it's like the anime is so beautiful, man, and like you can see the flow of movement. It's like it's not art. It's like they just throwing out movements, and it just looks like they're throwing punches. Like the flow is like you're actually watching two martial arts masters go at it. If you have, bro, you need to watch it. Like if you can get over the constant like conversation, like the long drawn out conversations that are in every like first two episodes of every Fate anime. Every Fate anime always starts with like a long ass like epilogue that's just like nothing but talking. It's like one episode where all they do is talk. And that's pretty much the anime saying, we're gonna get this out the way now. Cause these motherfuckers ain't about to be talking a lot after this day. And like basically the anime's like after episode 1, it's all hands. There's no more talking. It's all hands.
I hope y'all remember what the guy's voice sounds like, because after today,
Pretty much.
right? Y'all can get used to the sound of these clang, clang, clang.
That's pretty much it. Like the first episode is always like an hour long, just to like, and it seems they do that just to get like all the conversation out the way, just to get as much conversation out the way as possible. So they could just like at that point after that, everything else is just like. The conversations be so fucking like brief. They be like, "Oh, so you're the master of this. Oh, you're the master of that. What's your class cost? Oh, I was a caster. Mine's a saber. Wow, we'll win the Holy Grail. Fight, done." And like now and then they'll give you 5 minutes of like, conversation about somebody's past, and then there's like gory demons, monsters, more fighting. But yeah, man, if you haven't seen the Fate series yet, I think you'll agree it. But just be careful because there's so many versions of it. There's no which like it's almost impossible to follow the whole thing. Like it's like the Monogatari.
I will watch a series and not understand anything and still love it. I don't know what the fuck I watched when I saw Paranoia Agent, but I know that I enjoyed it.
You know what? Honestly, God, I believe you.
I don't understand what I saw, but I
Because it's you, Brandon. It's you. I honestly believe it. I believe Brandon would just like, oh, there's people throwing fists at each other. I love this. He will use that
little
exact
nigga on
phrase.
skates with a golden cricket bat. I'm there. I'm
I'm
for
done
it.
with you. I'm done with you. On so many levels, I'm done with you.
No, my favorite episode is when he hit the dude in the car. Like when he was stalking the dude in the car, that was amazing. The guy was like going 45 miles an hour on the freeway, and Lil Slug was just easy little skating behind him.
Yo, that's what I hate. That's what I hate about Paranoid Agent though. Paranoid Agent was like legitimately like one of the first. I would consider it a horror anime. That shit was creepy, man. That little
It was
motherfucker
scary,
was
dude. I
creepy
used, to
as
watch
hell.
I used to watch it with the lights on.
That little motherfucker was creepy as hell, dude. Because the anime will always start off kind of normal, and then the music starts ramping up, and then this motherfucker come out of nowhere, and you just know shit's about. You know somebody about to die. You just know somebody's about to die. Facts. Which is also gonna be part of one of our next episodes. It's like fire theme songs that you just love in animes. We're not gonna talk about that now, though.
Gun Gale Online.
I just said we're not gonna talk about that now. What's the first thing you do? What's the first thing you do? See, this is what we can have.
One of the worst ones. Talk about the worst ones right now.
I can't even read, bro. It's hard for me to talk about the worst ones because you know you skipped that, so you don't remember it much. I mean, if you remember some of the worst ones.
How about this? Everybody picks their top 5 and bring it for the next show.
Sounds fair to me.
I can tell you right now, do not watch Isekai Cheat Magician or something like that. That's the worst anime opening ever.
Bro, I haven't even heard what the hell you said. That whole name sounded like that was some. I mean, it's a whole nother language, but it's still like. Oh, you know what anime?
I was just like, nah.
What anime I would say that has like a bad opening that I recently watched on Hulu was called Fairy Gone. So what I do like about Hulu is Hulu does have like a pretty interesting selection of like animes that are probably like low key that come out of nowhere, but like this one called Fairy Gone and it had just the worst opening I think I've heard to date. Like it's on Hulu. It's called Fairy Gone, and it's one of those. Okay, so remember when they did the new Berserk anime? How that looked?
You know when they did it in 3D?
Somebody thought that was a good art style for this anime, and it's just
Man,
no.
Like, you can do that for certain things, but you can't just be like,
Bro,
it doesn't work with a lot, but it works well with Gundam series though.
Cause Gundam series is giant
the 2D,
robots.
3D, the 2D, 3D mix.
yeah, of course, they're mechs.
Yeah.
Boy, as soon as they try to put some 3D people or like, nah, you should have just drawn that.
Facts, man. They should have really like. Oh man, Elia was not helping me out in this fight.
Why are you adding me as a friend? We haven't even gotten to a fight yet. Oh my god. Yo, this level 20 person just asked me. Now he's sending me a party invite.
Yeah, he said you that man he wants to be around, man.
Please leave me alone, sir. I want to be your friend.
Oh, this dude would be extra.
Wants to be yours.
Oh my god, he be extra with his attacks. I'm gonna have to switch to Yakumo. I'm not gonna win this. Well, he messing me up. How did I win that one? Oh, watch me win that. Ugh. Alright, so I'm gonna let that conclude this episode. Me actually finally beating this goddamn boss.
Look at you playing games.
I know, right? I'm so proud of myself. So, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This was a completely random episode where I just picked these topics and I wanted to blindside these guys with it. And the reason we did that is because last episode just didn't really go that well, which probably had a lot to do with the fact that it was the first episode we did after a long hiatus. And we were talking about live action movies, that whole and movies we wanted to see live action, and it just wasn't it. It wasn't where it needed to be. But if you guys like what happened, if you guys like this episode, please feel free to follow us, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to give more. We would love suggestions for other stuff to talk about with anime related, comic book related. We nerds, we talk about anything. So comic books, movies, animes. Now I guess celebrities, because we went in on Kanye and Lizzo. And like, hey, look, man, this is all opinions.
I mean,
don't get up in your feelings.
So
Don't get up in your feelings. Don't get up in your feelings.
So what you call it? That one lady.
What one lady?
That one lady that made the bad remake and complained.
Oh, Elizabeth Banks. Oh yeah. Well, you're right. We have been going into celebs. So yeah. Hey, but if you guys want to, we'll include the link to that video too. Calm down, Elizabeth Banks. But this has been No Direction. I'd like to give a shout out to a young independent artist known as June. She's coming out with a manga, Slice of Life, called My Lawyer and I. It's I think it's a Yuri. It's a Yuri, isn't it, Brandon?
Somewhat,
Yuri
yeah.
manga?
Somewhat.
Yeah, it's a Yuri manga. If you know what Yuri is, it's guy on guy. So if you guys are into that, I'll link that into the description.
You said
below.
guy on guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's actually really good. You say you tripping. But if you guys are into that, I'll link it in the description below. Thank you again, and this has been Bl3rd Talk.